to it, ain't nothing about it. The only way to it is do it, no way around it. I'm 40, we cruising like the Caribbean with mileage. I'ma always be solid, I'm a young brother with knowledge. Go do the science, dog. Always I'm like a pilot, dog. Look at my eyes, I'm tired, dog. The time that it takes, I'm aiming for the space. Gotta build my empire, dog. I make sales, not a buyer, dog. You don't compare, he a liar, dog. Stack it up till it can't fold, huh. I just did 10 in a row, huh. I just did 10 in a row, huh. I just did 10, gotta go, huh. Stack it up till it can't fold, huh. I just did 10 in a row, huh. I just did 10 in a row, huh. I just did 10, gotta go, huh. Go, 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 huh. Go, huh. Go, huh. Go, go, go. Get off your phone, can't sit at a green light. Look how that shine reflect like a ring light. This is my podium, talking to 3 mics. I'm not no Brenner, half baked the team winning. If I said it, you know that I'm in it. They tryna live on the corner, I bend it. Can't take those chances, ain't talking about bend it. When they too lazy, they talking like critics. Why you so mad? Go get a bag. I'm in the lab, I don't move the same. Off of the pass, for back in my lane. I cannot sit in one place like a stain. Sharing that paper like ripping a page. I'm gonna be the last one to remain. Walk with the nearest, I'm spitting that flame. Hop out the cycle like it ain't a thing. Doing them heels, we running up. Hotel bar after the gig. Something to sip and getting drunk. But a case, baby, we gonna dip. Was I bad in them apartments? Started hitting the target. Started flooding the market. Started moving smarter until we rose about the garden. Stack it up till it can't fold, huh. I just did 10 in a row, huh. I just did 10 in a row, huh. I just did 10, gotta go, huh. Stack it up till it can't fold, huh. I just did 10 in a row, huh. I just did 10 in a row, huh. I just did 10, gotta go, huh. Go, 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 huh. Go, huh. Go, huh. Go, go, go. Yeah. Pop in, burning like this, ain't checking my wrist. Third is my shift. Rolling all night like flex. We look at the clips, these credits are lit. Stacking miles, I'm far away from home. I got what I wished for. Taking that risk, I'm checking my list. Marathon man, it's run legit. Can't let it slip when it's all in my grip. Talking too much, he probably not it. All that I did, calls I missed, time I spent. Yeah, that's that blood, sweating my love. Checking that tug, out of the mud. Bro, probably get picked up like a truck. Win in the clutch, that is a must. Wake up, get to it, ain't nothing about it. The only way to it is do it, no way around it. I'm 40, we cruising like the Caribbean with mileage. I'ma always be solid, I'm a young brother with knowledge. Go do the science, dog. Always I'm like a pilot, dog. Look at my eyes, I'm tired, dog. The time that it takes, I'm aiming for the space. Gotta build my empire, dog. I make sales, not a buyer, dog. You don't compare, he a liar, dog. Stack it up till it can't fold, huh. I just did 10 in a row, huh. I just did.
I am going to ruin wrestling.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the most interactive wrestling stream on the interweb. Welcome to Big Ohm live and in living color. Why are there two of me? I just realized there's two of me. We're figuring this out. Oh, man. Hope everyone's having a great day, a great time, a great life. There we go. That's the regular camera angle. What's going on, everyone? AEW Dynamite Grand Slam Mexico 2 is in the book, in the pocket, out of sight and out of mind. But what is not are all of you wonderful people who are in the chat, who are saying hello. Hope everyone's having a wonderful evening. It is August 5th, 2026. We're going to be talking professional wrestling. We're going to be talking AEW. We're going to be talking WWE. We're going to be talking whatever the hell you want to talk about because this is the most interactive wrestling show on the interweb. I have not had coffee today. Anyway, but we got a lot to get into. I want to hear from you guys. Obviously, leave your chats in there. MJF, of course, did return tonight. Wall Street Money in the chat. MJF going to spray paint an X on his belt. He might. He apparently is going with the old Ric Flair Real World Championship gimmick. A gimmick that CM Punk started to do back when MJF was the champion. But then, of course, we had Brawl In happen, and that never really materialized into anything. But looks like they're going to pick it up with MJF. And honestly, I think MJF doing that gimmick makes a lot more sense than a CM Punk. Because again, I've always maintained this. I think MJF is the Ric Flair of our era. But all of that is for another day. Today, I want to hear from you guys. AEW Dynamite, live from Mexico City, Mexico, the Cathedral of Professional Wrestling. It was a fantastic show. This is the case to be made for AEW, I think, to go international a lot more often. I think it's pretty obvious that AEW is running a lot of the same towns, a lot of the same arenas, a lot of the same venues, and hitting a lot of the same people. And that's great for those people. But there is an atmosphere, there is a fan base that is out there that genuinely, I think, wants to see AEW outside of the United States more often. And I think leaning into that from a business standpoint, from a fun standpoint, from a growth standpoint, makes all the sense in the world. I think December is usually when they do their second round of England shows. I could see them potentially doing a bit of a tour. I don't think it will be like, a 3-week-long tour like WWE does. I could see them doing a week, doing maybe 2 Dynamites in Europe. I would do France and England, and then potentially a house show or a collision elsewhere. I think that the market desires it. You have Wembley Stadium. You're going to have anywhere between 40 to 45,000 people in that stadium for that show. It makes a lot of sense for you to try to go get as many people and eyeballs on the product and give America a little bit of a break. You mean the Buddy Rogers of the modern era? All right, yeah. Oh, wow. Wall Street Money knows his wrestling history. A bully for you, my friend. Hell of a show tonight with the AEW Grand Slam. I thought so too. I thought the vast majority of the stuff on the show was excellent. The opening match where Cope and Cage teamed up with the Young Bucks. Fantastic stuff. The 619, obviously, Cope, very old. Probably shouldn't be doing a 619 spot, but he did a double 619 along with Matt Jackson that, paying homage to his friend Rey Mysterio, and it got a major pop. The crowd was going wild. The crowd was fantastic all night. This is my favorite show that AEW does, my favorite television show that AEW does for a reason, because the fans are so into it. And, it shows like the beauty of professional wrestling in Mexico. Like, I want you guys to really get this through your brains. Mexico is probably like the most consistent hub for professional wrestling in the world. Mexico City especially. CMLL hosts multiple shows a week from the same venue every week. From the same venue. And this year alone, we are just over halfway through the year, 8 months through the year. They have had 22 consecutive sellouts. 22 consecutive sellouts of Arena Mexico on a weekly basis. This is an arena that holds anywhere between 14 to 15 to 16,000. Like, the people love pro wrestling. Nothing else happens in Arena Mexico other than professional wrestling. And it is, in my view, the most consistent market. It's a market that, WWE is running a show in Mexico City in a couple of weeks. They're obviously not running Arena Mexico, but they're going to be there for a reason, because it's going to draw. It's going to get people there. It's going to be an awesome time. What is my favorite match of the night? So I loved the trios match. Is probably my favorite. The last 2 matches were like banger matches. Like those are in contention for TV match of the year for sure. But the trios match just had so much energy behind it. Hangman Page's first match back since he left and he lost his opportunity to win back the AEW World's Championship. I thought that was my favorite match. Will Ospreay and Mark Davis told a hell of a story in their street fight. These two obviously have known each other for a while. They played into that. They played into their history. They hit their moves from when they were together in United Empire. And it felt like an homage to that history and to their friendship. So I thought that was fantastic as well. The women's trios match was excellent as well. You had the opener, which I thought was very good and high energy. But yeah, hard to find a bad match on this show. Kyle Fletcher versus Mike Bailey was fantastic. I mean, and the real stars of the show, though, if we're being honest, were Mystico and Andrade. Mystico, the most over person on the show, easily. He was my wrestler of the year last year, and, he has taken a bit of a backseat to the likes of Hechincero, but the man is still winning belts. He's doing it in a different way, and I think right now the story they're going to tell is like his ascent back to the world championship picture. Andrade was the second most over person on the show. Naturally, that would make sense, but he was just like it felt like, like the second coming when Andrade appeared before that crowd. His presentation is excellent. He's the most consistently over person on that roster right now. He is headed to the Casino Gauntlet match where he will be facing off probably at some point against Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF, who made his AEW return tonight. Surprise return for MJF, getting his Dynamite Diamond ring back from Andrade El Idolo, and in doing so, also picked up one of my favorite gimmicks in history, the Real World Championship. Now, a lot of fans will look at the idea of this gimmick where, MJF basically came out after he attacked Andrade, bloodied him up, and then said that he was entering the Casino Gauntlet to recapture that paper championship that Kenny Omega holds. But he is going with the Real World Championship gimmick. And for those of you who are not aware, this was a gimmick that was popularized, obviously, recently by CM Punk, but it was around long before Punk. The real person who, who really made this a big deal in the previous era was Ric Flair. Before that, you had like Carl Gotch, go with this gimmick back in 1964. So this has been a continuous thing throughout professional wrestling, and it is one of my favorite gimmicks for that reason. You have a chicken shit heel, run off and abscond with a belt that isn't his and go around calling himself the world champion. Very easy way to set up a feud down the line to determine the undisputed champion. And it works especially when you have a guy like a Ric Flair, when you have a guy like a Carl Gotch, when you have a guy like a Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Because no matter what they do, no matter how much they lose, they're always going to be over, they're always going to be a draw, and they're always going to be a believable threat. So, I thought that was great. MJF left the building, just berating fans, almost got into a fight with a couple of them, and I hope Max watches where he sleeps tonight, because the entire city of Mexico City is going to be after him. I don't think you talked about AEW's news tournament that TK announced. Yes, so the Continental Cup, I did touch on this. It is a different tournament than the Continental Classic, but it looks like the gimmick for the Continental Championship moving forward is going to be every quarter you have to defend it in a tournament, which I think is good. Separates it out from the other ones. Great Dynamite. Mexico City is more than worthy of hosting All In if TK decides it. And All In Mexico City would be great. It would be interesting to see where they host it, but I think certainly a pay-per-view. A pay-per-view needs to come to Mexico City. That much I know. Are we sure MJF made it out of there? I don't know. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he could join forces with Okada and betray Fletcher. Oh, we're talking about Mark Davis. Mark Davis is insanely good. Put him in the continental or the international feud between Fletcher and Okada and Takeshita. Yeah, I mean, I would personally love that. I do think the direction, though, for All In is Okada and Fletcher. I think they want to do that one-on-one match. What was the story with Ric Flair in the Real World Championship? So the story with Ric Flair was interesting because it was it was a lot more real, pardon the pun, than people gave it credit for. So basically what happened was Ric Flair was the WCW World's Heavyweight Champion in 1992, 91, 92. And this was around the time where he was on the outs with WCW for the first time. And he would eventually, as a champion, leave and go to WWE. Now, leaving with the championship, which he eventually did hold up on WWE TV. And he went around on WWE TV calling himself the real world champion. And, you know, obviously, like, that led to a feud with himself and Macho Man and became this bigger thing. But it was a really cool feud because you had Ric Flair enter WWE calling himself a world champion. So even for the people in 91, 92 who did not know who Ric Flair was, who weren't aware of his past, like, it was a great way to introduce him as, like, a legitimate champion. And, like, again, there's a couple of guys who can make that gimmick work. I think MJF and Ric Flair are at the top of my list for people who can make it work. Maybe do a Forbidden Door Mexico. Forbidden Door Mexico sounds perfect to me. That's a great idea. Give me Forbidden Door Mexico. Open up host it in Arena Mexico. That's great. Hire me, TK. I'll get you 1 million live viewers for Dynamite every freaking week. Will you now? I mean, listen. If you can do that, I think Tony would hire you. But yeah, man. It's a lot of fun stuff going on. Oh yeah, they did not want to refund Ric Flair's $25K deposit. That is the crux. That is the crux of the story, which to me makes it even funnier because I'm like, dog, it's your company. Like what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Oh man, like that's your belt. Fucking, like, who was that? Was that Bill Watts? Was that Bill Watts? Chad, let's do some research together. I'm pretty sure it was Bill Watts. Who was the promoter that made Ric Flair leave WCW? I think it was Bill Watts, right? No, it was Jim Herd. Oh yeah, no, Jim Herd. Jim Herd is a real piece of shit. Yo, this dude. So. Oh wait, hold on. You guys can't see that. So Jim Herd, for those of you who are not aware, was the president of operations for WCW in the early 90s and was horrible at his job. Did not last long in his job because he not only ran Ric Flair out of town, the way he ran Ric Flair out of town was insane. He wanted to shave Ric Flair's head. He wanted to shave his head. He wanted to rename him Spartacus and put him under a mask, because he thought that Ric Flair was done as a draw. Imagine thinking that. Imagine thinking in 1992 that Ric Flair is no longer a draw. The man went on to main event a stadium show for WWE at WrestleMania 8, and we're talking about him not being a draw. Absolute insanity, bro. Like Jim Herd, I don't know where you are. I don't know what you're doing. Like, I don't even know if you're still around anymore, but man, may God have mercy on your soul for that. May God have... Okay, he's still around. He's still alive. Shout out to Jim Herd, but may God have mercy on your soul. TKO should take notes. In what... Oh, you talking about, like, in repackaging people? That would be crazy. Could you imagine? Like, it's legit. Like, okay, that is legit, like, the equivalent of them having, like, Cody Rhodes come out, shaved head, under a mask, fucking, up Odysseus or whatever. Like insanity. If I get 10 minutes with TK, I convince him to properly structure a division based on sports like Dynamite and Collision, get AEW to the next level. You and everyone else has an idea of how to get AEW to the next level. You guys want to help me get to the next level? The best way to do that is by leaving a like, a thumbs up. Helps out greatly. All of you, I need you to scroll down, hit that thumbs up so as many people as possible see the stream and the community go woes. But yeah, thought Dynamite was dope tonight. Oh God, how do we get to talking about Jim Herd in the big 2026? It got me geeking out about the Real World Championship gimmick. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the promos. And believe it or not, I'm looking forward. This is not AEW related, but I'm looking forward to SmackDown this Friday. Coming off of like what to me was like the most annoying SmackDown in quite a while. I think they have a chance to really turn things around. Get a couple of returns, take the belt off of Baron Corbin, hopefully, and like let CM Punk and Kevin Owens go out there and just cook on the mic. Don't do the whole, I always respected you, Punk. No, none of this respect bullshit. Give me Punk, give me Owens, give me no notes, no script. Just let him go. Give him 20 minutes and let him make magic happen. Those to me are like the best pro wrestling segments. Just let the dudes go out there and make magic happen. And if there's any two people you can trust to do that, it's these two. Now, will CM Punk probably feel some type of way if Kevin Owens, takes a shooty shot on him? Sure. I'm sure he would. It's no surprise if you guys keep up with the channel, I know many of you do. I put out a video chronicling the feud, the real life feud and the real life heat between Kevin Owens and CM Punk. These two don't like each other. As a matter of fact, they fucking hate each other. Kevin Owens has not forgiven CM Punk for basically calling him fat and berating him in front of the locker room. Kevin Owens also happens to be very good friends with a lot of people that CM Punk fucking hates. Homer, it's WWE. You know it's going to be scripted. I know it's going to be scripted. I'm well aware it's going to be scripted. But a kid can dream. I've been waiting for this feud for quite some time. Like, literally. Like, these two have never had a proper feud. Never. So I'm looking forward to it. Like they've never touched in the ring. Like, it is going to be, it's going to be epic. The aura, like my boy Just Brian likes to say, the aura is going to be crazy, man. Like, if, I don't know, like, if I wasn't going to All Out and All In already, I would have considered going to Money in the Bank to see that match. But, unfortunately, I am going. So I'm not going to go to see that match. Wait, hold up, yo. How I feel getting into bed 4 a.m. after every Wednesday overrun. That's a lot of the Europeans in my chat right now. They're just like, oh shit, God, like a 3-hour Dynamite, an unadvertised 3 hours is crazy, bro. By the way, shout out to my boy Abdul El Sayed, who beat APAC, who beat Corporate Interest, who beat Big Money, who won the Democratic primary in Michigan. Shout out to Abdul El Sayed, my friend. I'm very happy for you. I want the Young Bucks reference from KO. It would be perfect. You're not getting the Young Bucks reference. You might get like a very subtle reference to Brawl In. There's gonna be. I would be very surprised if they even alluded to like my friends. Like I don't think there's gonna be any of that. I don't think there's gonna be any of that. Oh, we have something from Tony. Tony Khan just tweeted, "Thank you all who watched Wednesday Night Dynamite. Grand Slam Expo tonight. It's just my opinion. Tonight's Dynamite was one of my personal favorite nights ever. If you haven't seen it yet, it's now on TBS West and HBO Max 11 p.m. Like, Jesus, Tony. Jesus. Love you, Tony. Every Dynamite can't be your favorite night in pro wrestling ever. It's every Dynamite. It's every pay-per-view. It's every house show. Every Collision. Fuck, every Ring of Honor show. Like, it can't be your favorite every week, TK. It can't be your favorite every single week, TK. That being said, AEW does have a run of shows, like back-to-back 2 straight banger Dynamites. It's been a while since I've been able to say that. Just 2 straight, absolute, like near perfect episodes of Dynamite. It's been a while since we've had like a company put together two back-to-back near perfect episodes of any TV show. But man, tonight hit, last week hit. It feels like all in season. It's crazy. Like the feeling that people, used to get back, back in the day for WrestleMania. I feel like that's the feeling I now get because it doesn't happen with WrestleMania, unfortunately, anymore. I think there's more of that feeling for a SummerSlam at this point than there is at WrestleMania. WrestleMania feels like nothing, but All In feels like genuinely like the biggest wrestling show of the year. I was just on the phone with with Brian, who's cooking me for this, but I have not been this excited to go to a wrestling show or even for a wrestling show in a very long time. I think the last time I was this excited was the last Wembley show in 2024, and man, I just this to me the excitement I have is it's almost there. It's almost that level. Like that to me is peak because that was just that was Brian. That was me getting to see the greatest wrestler, my favorite wrestler of all time, main event, winning the world championship at a stadium show. Like I got to literally live out my dream that I had, because I wasn't getting, I didn't have the chance in 2014 because I was too young to go to New Orleans for WrestleMania 30, and I always regretted that. It was one of those things where I had major FOMO about it. But 10 years later, getting to go to Wembley of all places and see Brian win that championship in front of 50,000 people was so fucking cool. I cried. It was great. And, with Will, I think it's going to be a very similar vibe because Will is it's for me, it's my favorite wrestlers right now. It's Will and MJF. And I think of the world of Will. He's so great. What's the best episode of Dynamite in 2026? I think it was last week's. Last week's was a near perfect episode of Dynamite. I think it was last week's episode. All In season is a great idea for one of your video essays. Well, I do have an All In video essay coming up. That's going to be a good one. I'm happy about that one. But before we get to that, there is another person that I have to talk about because, quite frankly, he needs to be talked about. So either later this weekend or at some point early next week, there will be another video essay out talking about Danhausen. So we'll see. You lived your wrestle dream. But I quite like what you did there. That's a good one. I did live out my wrestle dream. That was great. Great pun. Last week was top notch. Yeah, last week's Dynamite was probably the best episode of all year. I mean, this week, if someone said this week's was, in their opinion, I wouldn't argue with that. This week's was also amazing. And the wrestling on this show was excellent. The actual in-ring action and the in-ring storytelling was great. I think the promos and the out-of-ring storytelling was excellent last week. I think it's two sides of the same coin, if that makes sense in that way. So either way, I think there's multiple ways to do a great wrestling show, and AEW was able to accomplish it both times. And this is coming off of a week where SummerSlam, I think, is pretty universal in that was the best show that WWE put on all year from a PLE standpoint. Now, was it great by a lot of people's standards? No, but it was good. It was a really good show, and they're coming off of a bunch of weak pay-per-views. But for them to put that on and then put on what I thought to be the best Raw of the year, I thought Monday Night Raw was a fantastic show. And then for AEW to follow it up with another near perfect edition of Dynamite. I mean, again, people talk about, oh, we don't compare WWE to AEW. Everyone compares. If you watch both shows, you compare. So it was really important for them to do that. Are you going to get some fish and chips in London? I am. I'm going to be there with Mr. Kenny Baum And I am going to show Kenny around, and I am going to get him some fish and chips. I actually owe him dinner. So, shout out to Kenny Baum. I will be getting you the best fish and chips at the best chippery in London, mate. It's gonna be emotional, as Vinny Jones would say. Hold on, let me see if I can find that clip. Let me see if I can find that. Yo, shout out to Vinny Jones. I'm Vinny fucking Jones. I'm the bloody juggernaut. That is crazy. They did have Vinny Jones. I can't believe Vinny Jones played Juggernaut in the X-Men. That was that was genuinely insane. That was genuinely insane. Like one of the more crucial characters in that entire universe, and you got Vinny. I'm Vinny Bloody Jones. Like, are you gonna get a soundboard? Yes, I am. It is on the way. The soundboard is on the way. We're getting a soundboard. Yes, we are. We are taking your super chat money and putting it to good use. We are getting a soundboard. By the way, leave a super chat if you want to help support the channel and get another soundboard and help me buy fish and chips when I go to London. Have a great time in London, Big Home. Thank you. Thank you. I will. Listen. London has been very welcoming to me. Every time I've been, they've been very welcoming to me, and I appreciate that. And you know, some could say it's the least they could do for all of the colonization of my people and the murder. So, you know what? I'm not going to say we're even. That's crazy. Fun fact, my old landlord in England's friends with Vinny Jones. Vinny Bloody Jones, you better give me more. You better give my mate his fucking rent, or I'm going to walk you. Like, yo, can you imagine owing Vinny Jones rent? Imagine Vinny Jones coming to help his friend collect or something. Like, Vinny fucking Jones, you better give him his rent, or he's gonna fuck you up, mate. You wanker. Beware the rats on the London Tube. I have not seen any rats on a London Tube. The tube's pretty consistent. Like, I have had a great time on the tube every time I've been on there. I mean, it's not the best train system or metro system. Like, the best public transit system is Copenhagen that I've been on. Like, Copenhagen is just top tier. If you guys ever get a chance to go to Copenhagen, highly recommend you check out the trains there. I mean, the cleanest trains, the most efficient trains, the most, the easiest to understand and ride, and just fantastic stuff over there in Copenhagen. Tuesday, bro. Oh my goodness, bro. Shout out to the Brits in the chat. Don't get offended. Don't get offended, Brits. Listen. You guys were definitely the world's evil superpower for a while. But now you get to enjoy being like a little punching bag. Consistently dirty, I'll give you that. Well, you're talking about the UK. I mean, listen, it's not great, but listen, I come from the US. I need you to remember that. I come from the States where New York is our best public transit system. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy New York, the subway's excellent. It's dirty as all hell, but it's excellent. It runs, and that's more than you can say about any other, subway system or metro system in the United States. We don't do public transit well. So anytime my American ass can see something that's semi-functional, I'm here for it. Amsterdam, I will say, Amsterdam has a great public transit system as well. The trains, amazing. The trolleys, really underrated. But yeah, no. Shout out to Amsterdam. I took the train in Amsterdam, and they were just I took a bus in Amsterdam, and I forgot my password. And the guy just goes, he just goes, come on, enough of this. You don't need to pay. So shout out to that bus driver. What's your favorite anime? Okay. So my number one. I mean, listen, my number one's always going to be Dragon Ball Z. Literally, within arm's reach at all times. I have like a bunch of Dragon Ball Z shit. Actually no. It's either I mean, this is basic as fuck, right? Basic as fuck. But it's Dragon Ball Z and Pokemon are my basic answers. My my slightly like more niche answers are like Detective Conan. I love Detective Conan, and then I also love Yu Yu Hakusho. That's what I grew up on. I live in a city with free transport for city residents, so basically speak with a full belly. This fucking guy. Japan has a bullet train. I'm telling you, guys, boys, the day I go to Japan, I might not come back. I will do my damnedest to try to find a way to get residency there and just live there. It just seems like the greatest place on the planet. Yes, rest in peace, Dory Funk Jr., who passed away this week. Very unfortunate. I'll do like on my Friday show. I'll do like a long like monologue about Dory Funk Jr. because right now, honestly, I'm like very tired and kind of out of it. So I want to be able to do him justice with a full monologue. But rest in peace, Dory Funk Jr. More to come on Friday. Man, bro, those Friday streams that Friday stream is gonna be crazy. It's gonna be right before SmackDown. I mean, should I do a Friday stream before SmackDown or after? Because it's like I feel like the funny thing for y'all is gonna be my reaction when Kevin Owens and CM Punk don't deliver on that promo. And I can go to those shows. Omar, what's your favorite Jim Carrey movie of all time? Favorite Jim Carrey movie? Grinch. Oh, okay, it's The Grinch. Number one. Number one is The Grinch easily. Number two, Evan Almighty. Or sorry, is it Evan? No, it's Bruce Almighty. Bruce Almighty. So yeah, number one is easily The Grinch. Number two is Bruce Almighty. Number three is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. And then I'll put Dumb and Dumber, the first one, up there as well. That's my top four. But number one is like very easily The Grinch. Like not even close. Very easily The Grinch. Like that is genuinely one of my favorite movies ever. Like that is like appointment viewing for me every single year around the holidays. I quite like that. Let me chill. What else is going on? Grand Slam, Mexico. Yo, this was an insane. This was an insane spot, people. Like, I don't even realize. Oh, let me mute that before I get cooked here. Like, this is an insane spot. Like, brother. Like, my boy Will did not need to do that to his boy. Just like pure insanity. Just dropping him on his head, on the apron, and like, oh, I don't know, man. That's oof. What soundboard sounds are you gonna use? All of them. Like, there's going to be at least like 20 of them. Like, I have a list. I mean, I'm gonna have like all the basic ones, like, you know, like the fa. I'm definitely gonna have like a bunch of like wrestling, like Jesus. Like, you know, like it's gonna be a good mix. The one that I think I should prepare everyone for is like, you know, I'm gonna have like the Alex Jones like liberal, la la la, happy fun, like and it's gonna have like nothing to do with wrestling. I just think it's the funniest thing. like that clip is genuinely one of my funniest things I've seen in a while. Just started like a month ago. Very cool to travel for free in the summer and go to the beach nearby free of charge, besides being F up from my back. Not all is bad. I hope your back is feeling better. I feel like the saga with your back has been going on for a while, so I hope you feel better soon, man. I just saw the trailer for Violent Night 2, and MJF is one of the villains in the movie. I can't wait. The first movie was good. Yeah. Violent Night, and like this one, like Santa Claus is like losing his powers or something. So like we'll see. But yeah, man, my boy MJF in all these movies. People are like, why isn't he the champion? He's got to go film a movie every couple of months. He's a busy man. He's a busy man. Oh, yo, I do gotta say, it's like, so this dude, like, on Twitter, Ryan Gaspiel or whatever, Gaspiel, whatever his name is, front office sports media, and formerly of the Outkick and NY Post. So, yeah, very credible journalist here. Bro tweeted this out and like baited the shit out of me. Like I shouldn't have taken the bait, but I was absolutely baited by this post. Roman Reigns will be regarded as the greatest wrestler of the 21st century when it's all said and done. And of course, naturally, my dumbass like took it seriously. I took that shit personally, all Michael Jordan edition, and I said, imagine saying that when these two exist. And this is true, right? But even from the most normie WWE Mark fan fed like smart perspective, even from the most hardcore WWE fan perspective, this is an insane thing to say. Because the 21st century people started in the year 2000. Which means you're telling me that Roman Reigns is better and highly regarded or higher in regard than The Rock, than Shawn Michaels, than Stone Cold Steve Austin, and those are just the normie ones I'm going to throw at you. John Cena? Listen, bro. If you want to say this era and all you watch is WWE like this dude probably does, sure. Okay. But come on. 21st century? No. And don't get me started on the Roman all-time thing, because, like, look, number one, if we're talking about WWE, Roman is certainly, like, I think, worthy of top 10 consideration. I think if we're talking all-time top wrestlers, don't get me started, because that would genuinely, like, cause some people to have an aneurysm. Because, I don't even know where Roman rank in my top wrestlers of all time list, but it would not be top 15. That much I know. After that CM Punk feud, John Cena just started cooking people on the mic. Yeah, he did. That was a big turning point in his career, because like I feel like it's like 2013 onwards was a completely different Cena. Like that was my favorite version of John Cena. Over a year now doing physio and waiting for surgery, but hey, at least I'm not in America. I would be in debt by now. Long live the EU and free healthcare, baby. Hey, man, shout out to free healthcare. Every time we try to get that, they call whoever's running for office who is advocating for that a terrorist. So, we're great. We're doing great over here. There's a guy, Abdullah Syed, just won in Michigan, and his whole thing is like Medicare for all, and he's like a doctor. And the Republican opponent over there just made an ad about 9/11. So yeah, it could be worse. Jesus, we're so fucking cooked. Shout out to Abdul though, my boy. Yo, people are, murder, my boy, okay, Murder Ibushi is going crazy on the timeline right now. My boy had a lot of fun watching that. We have free healthcare, but you have to wait 8 hours to see a doctor. Well, listen, it's either, in America, you don't even see the doctor. like chill, bro. Like in America, you're just like, oh yeah, I got like cancer. Nothing I can do about that. Like it's cooked over here, bro. Like everything. Like listen, everything has its trade-offs, but listen. At least you get treated eventually. Even Republicans support it here. You guys live in a dystopian society. Ah, you're telling me. You're telling me. I mean, we're all going to be living in a dystopian society, though, when our AI overlords take over. Oh, is JD crashing out? JD. No Vance. We're talking about JD from New York. Is he crashing out on the timeline again, chat? Is he crashing out on the timeline again? He is crashing out on the timeline again. JD. JD, just let it go. Apparently Dynamite was too long for him. Just let it go, JD. Go back to making problematic tweets about women's wrestlers. Ah, shit, I said that out loud. Whatever. I stand by what I said. I mean, I didn't say anything wrong. What else we got? All hail our AI overlords. Please make fun of Omer in the future. Yes. Make fun of me. In your humble opinion, do you think there are too many tournaments in wrestling? I mean, yeah. I mean, actually, no. Okay, no. Sorry. My answer is no. I think if you're a fan of wrestling, odds are that you don't watch all of the tournaments that are happening, like, unless you're me and you're, like, mentally unwell. But I think, if you are like me, then sure. This summer has been like just had an insane amount of tournaments. You had the Owen Hart Cup, you had the G1, you had the King of the Ring, and now you got this Continental Cup. There are a shit ton of tournaments across all these promotions, but especially over the summer. But at the same time, I do think that they're gonna like these companies are gonna do tournaments, right? It's like you're not gonna have a company that doesn't do tournaments. I think it just happened to coincide that they all did them together. But I do understand the tournament fatigue, certainly. Whew. All right, guys, I am tired. I'm not gonna lie. Dynamite was a lot longer than I thought it was gonna be. I just wanted to pop in, do a quick stream. I will be back Friday before SmackDown, so all the Europeans can join the chat. But I will be back Friday, and we will talk about everything that there is to talk about. I'll preview All In. I'll preview SmackDown. And may God have mercy on my soul if that show sucks. But until next time, I'm Big O. Peace.